Good morning. Good morning. There's totally a reason I don't sing on this show. I've talked about it before. I don't know if it's just that weird little pause where you're like supposed to be live, but you're not quite live and you're waiting to go live. So you don't want to like just be sitting there in case you are live. I don't know, but I apologize. I should not be singing. Instead, what we need to do is we just need to dive into today's episode of #RiseAndGrind. Don't you agree? Merry Christmas! The holidays are here, and we just thought it'd be a great time to share a story. A story of whimsy and magic and fun, and one that also tells the tale of a modern-day Grinch. We hope that you enjoy. Merry Christmas. "'Twas the morning before Christmas, when all through the house, Dad was writing his goals, and so was his spouse. Their planners had been placed by the chimney with care, in hopes that by using them good fruits would soon bear. The children were engaged, they had their goals too. They wanted Xbox and video games and a new pair of shoes. And Mama in her jammas and I in my hat, her claiming the sofa, in my office I sat. When all of a sudden outside was a clatter. The postman had arrived, and ring was a chatter. Away to the front door I flew like a flash, tore open the first box and threw away trash. The sun was just rising, and the new fallen snow gave a luster of excitement to the objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a Rise and Grind hoodie and more Rise and Grind gear, with sweatpants for everyone, so warm and so thick, I knew in a moment that
this gear is so sick!
Across t-shirts and hoodies, the gym bags they came, and coffee and bracelets, I called them by name. New beanies, new planners, new jackets, new mugs, new camo, new polos, the family all hugged to the top of the stairs, to the top of the hall. The kids were all screaming, as much as they dreamed of a good life before. My wife and I knew we were giving them more. So into the living room, the thank yous they flew, with hands full of new gear and of course, planners too. Except for our nephew, he was such a Grinch. He believed it was nonsense and his breath had a stench. I was shaking my head and was reminded to see that this wasn't the answer. Gratitude was the key. He was dressed all in black, from his head to his toe. His clothes were all tattered, and he had an afro, a bundle of joy, death tattooed on his back. He looked so depressed, and he thought we were whack. His eyes were so hollow, his expression not merry. He hadn't shaved in a month, so his face was real hairy. His facial expression was drawn low in a frown, and though try as we might, his demeanor was down. The ends of his arms he held tight in a fist, and though fearful and anxious, his life was a twist. He had a sweet face and was really good looking. He's taller than most and once really liked cooking. He was dark and handsome, a once eager young soul, and I hoped we could help him. That was surely the goal. A glimpse in his eye and his days of regret led me to believe that he wasn't gone yet. We spoke not a word, but we gathered around and turned on the TV, then turned up the sound. Good morning came blaring, a sound we all knew. Glenn on the big screen, and he's talking to you. He stared with big eyes. The Grinch melted away, and though he'll deny it, we all cried that day. But I heard him exclaim, as we started to play,
"Thank you, Rise and Grind, for changing my ways."
Good morning and welcome to
Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Oh my gosh, that might be a little bit loud. I had to turn this mic up the other day. Sorry about that for yelling at you first thing in the morning. Hope this is much, much better. Dude, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday, December 7th, 2020. That's right. And I love Monday mornings. There's 250 of y'all that are joining me this Monday morning. I've missed you this weekend. I have indeed. Today is Monday, December 7th, 2020. What's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, December 7th, 2020. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Dude, today is a special day in the Lundy house and the Hull house, if you want to call it that, Hull. Today is a very special day. Today is the birthday of my stepdad. Today is the day we celebrate the birthday of my stepdad, Everett Hull, December 7th, baby. We got lots of birthdays in December. His is a big one. But dude, this guy right here is an amazing dude. He is an amazing dude. He started dating my mom back when I was like 11 years old. My sister was 14. My dad was like this really mean, really jealous, really angry, really big black military guy. And my stepdad came into that situation and he put up with a lot, man. He put up with a lot, including me being a punk when I was young, right? Me taking advantage of my mom when I was young, me going to jail, like all kinds of BS that he had to put up with. And he literally, like my stepdad finally, like put his foot down. He was the one who told my mom I could not live with them anymore. Like, I could swing by and get dinner, and that was it. Like, he was serious, right? Because I was just bad, right? I was just bad. So he's the one that like kicked me out, that forced me to grow up. And because of him, I did grow up. I did. Fast forward 32 years, I believe it is now that they've been together. You got to do a lot of math once you start getting a little bit older, right? They've been together 32 years. He never had any kids of his own. He always treated us like we were his own. Always. I mean, yesterday, my stepdad and my mom, they showed up at my house like unannounced yesterday. They just showed up because Grandpa, my stepdad, had heard from his grandkid, Savannah, my daughter, that her room was cold. And so he just showed up so that he could seal the windows because he wanted to make sure his granddaughter was warm. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Like, Grandpa was there to fix it. And that's literally what he does. It's what he's always done from the get-go. He loves my mom fiercely. And I mean fiercely. I've never seen anybody love anybody the way he loves my mom. He loved us like we were his own. He loves his grandbabies even more than he loved us. He's literally like an angel that God sent here to help us when things in our life were really dark and really scary. My stepdad's been here ever since. And so I just want to say happy birthday to my stepdad, Everett. Thank you so much for everything you've done in our lives. You truly are an amazing human being. We love you, love you, love you, and always will. For real. He's the dude. Do you have a stepdad? Do you have a stepdad? I know a lot of people have stepdad. Some of us were blessed to be able to grow up in a two-parent home. But for those of you that had a stepdad, there's a little video I wanted to show you this morning. I keep going back and forth. Maybe I'll show it right at the end, all right? Depending on time, because I want to make sure we get everything in. So there's a little video, just kind of a shout out to stepdads across America, and I'll show that. So stick around to the end, and I'll show that as long as we have enough time. But with that said, I hope that you had an amazing weekend. I had an amazing weekend. My family had an amazing weekend. I spent the weekend like signing planners, right? Personal messages in all types of planners. People that pre-ordered their planners at RISEANDGRINDplanner.com. So I spent the weekend signing planners, packing planners, which was super fun. My wife did as well. We also shipped out a ton of coffee. We now have Rise and Grind coffee. We have a dark roast and a light roast, Honduran beans. It's made all organically. Super cool stuff. If you're a coffee drinker, I would love for you to grab a bag and test it out. I don't know anything about coffee. My wife does. I don't really know much about coffee, but I would love your feedback. If you drink coffee, you got to try it. Plus, a portion of the proceeds goes to Rescue One Global, which is an organization that's battling human sex trafficking around the world, right? So I need you to go to, you can go to riseandgrindgear.com and get you some coffee, test it out, let me know how it is. So we packed a bunch of coffee, we shipped out planners, we shipped out coffee, right? We did all that this weekend. It was super, super fun. I watched my Oakland Raiders, right? These guys right here get super lucky, put themselves in a crazy situation. They got super lucky and won the game. Kim Garner got me to look on Snapchat and figure out what I look like as a cartoon character, which, I was like, okay, I could probably handle this look right here. For those of you that are listening on podcast or one of the other ways, that we're streaming, you might not be able to see it, but let's just say I've got gorgeous eyes and incredible skin, right? So thanks, Kim Garner, for that. That felt amazing. So we did a little bit of that, played with that. Also, the kids, we just laughed a lot. Right? We just laughed a lot in our house. It was super fun this weekend, and that's the kind of weekend that I hope that you had. And on top of all of that, the planners, the coffee, the cartoon characters, and the laughing with my kiddos, I spent some time learning all about Asian culture, this incredible continent of Asia. Now, I know I'm maybe a little bit weird, right? And look, I can't help it. I am fascinated with learning. Fascinated with it. I'm fascinated with learning. I'm fascinated with exploring. I'm fascinated with traveling and adventuring. I'm fascinated with extracting wisdom through awareness of things previously unknown. I'm all about it, dude. I can't help it. That's simply my jam. And so this week, I'm going to take you with me as we learn valuable life lessons from the largest and most populated continent on Earth. 4.4 billion people. That's right, folks. This week, we are traveling to Asia. It's going to be amazing. But before we do, you know what we got to do. Uh-oh. Yeah, I can feel that. We're just going to lean into it a little bit this morning. What's up, Travis Flaherty? What's up, Extra Mile Kyle, Kim Fair, Amber Davies? For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact in their lives. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes for you to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. Don't play. Just hit it. I know you're running right now. You're like, I'm running. I got my hands, my phone's on my arm. I'm swinging it. Just hit the share button. There's 260 of y'all watching right now. That's 260 shares. That's how many lives would be changed and impacted if we could just change the way they start their day with something a little positive today. You could be the catalyst for that. So hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I say good morning to you, you say good morning to me, whether you're watching live, watching on replay, watching on YouTube, maybe you're watching at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, whatever it is, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. How you doing, John Coltonborn? Great to see you, sir. How you doing, Kim Fair? Janelle Griego's up in here. That's right. We got Sarah Ball, who had a birthday yesterday. What's up, Kim Wilson? We got Don Sankey in the house. Jeff Baker, Melvin Rodriguez, Brad Smith, Tina Bacon. My goodness, it's going so fast I can't keep up. Melinda Gayheimer. What's up, Carrie Lynn Carter? You like your cartoon version, Kim Garner? Me too. What's up, Ray Hatcher? How you doing, John Paul Gidry? What up, what up? Mr. Mike Romano, great to see you. I see Carter Myers up in here as well. Love seeing that. What's up, Julio Soto? We got Sandra Benstock DeLolio, Mr. Nathaniel Banks. What's up, Emily Gowler? Shana Corsale. Great to see you. What's up, Chris Dubbug? Hey, for those of you that are new to the show, do me a huge favor. Say what's up. Say good morning. Jump in here. Chime in. Don't let these veterans overrun you with all their crazy, man. The ones that have been watching forever. There's 300 of y'all on here today. I want to hear from you. Drop me a comment so we can connect. Also, do me a favor. Hit that like button or that heart button. Let me know how you feel today. When you drop that on it, your energy transfers through the phone and it actually levels me up. It jacks me up. What's up, Michael Guthrie? How you doing, Pam Woosley? So let me know how you're feeling this morning. A like, a heart, a smiley, a happy face, whatever it is. And what's up, Megan DiMartino? There's my man Scott Simons up here in the house. Vicky Everett's up in here, of course. Yeah, Emily. Y'all are the vets taking over the feeds. What's up, Jamie Dupay? Mr. Rick Tamburino's up in here. Mr. James Gavin and Frank Lopes. What's up, Frank Lopes? There he is, Hal Davis. Good morning. He's out snowboarding today. Liza Myers Borges. Hal, I don't know if you've been here before, but we're so glad you're here now. What's up, Carrie Osborne? Girl, it's good to see you as well. Jamie Dupay's up in here. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Drop a like, drop a heart, drop a smiley face. Let's get this thing going today on hashtag Rise and Grind. Asia has nearly half the world's population. Half of the world lives on this incredible continent of Asia. We are talking about 4.4 billion people. 4.4 billion people. Listen, you've got China over there on this continent of Asia. You have a place called Indonesia, which is over there on this continent of Asia. I don't think you guys get it. I was blown away. I did not know a lot of these things. I did not know this. It's just so massive. I mean, you got places like Pakistan, right? Pakistan is over there on the continent of Asia. What's up, BV Edlin? You've also got Bangladesh on the continent of Asia. How you doing, Amber Davies? Great to see you. You've also got actually that was Pakistan. I'm sorry, I missed one. This is Bangladesh right here. You got Bangladesh. You've also got Japan. Japan is a continent over there in Asia, right? You got Vietnam, which is over there in Asia. You've got Turkey, which is over there in Asia, right? You've got the Philippines, which is over there in Asia, right? You've got Vietnam. I think I already said Vietnam, but you got that over there in Asia, right? And then you've got Iran, and this is just 10 of the 48 countries that make up this continent of Asia. So between the 48 countries and the 4.4 billion people, billion people, right? Asia is one of the most diverse places on the entire planet. And it's so crazy to me. It's so crazy. Like, I always reflect as I'm learning. I think about what I thought about. Does that make sense? I think about what I thought about. Like, when I first heard, or like when I hear the word Asia, my initial thought is, like Chinese or Japanese, right? Like, I just initially go there. I didn't realize how encompassing it was. Half of the world's population, right? I'm like, golly, I'm so small-minded to think, like, to immediately just make this, and it's based on pre-programming, right? Well, we've been pre-programmed, what we've seen when you look at an Asian American, right? And maybe what they typically look and feel like and sound like, right? And dialects and so on and so forth. But we don't realize how big it is. It's massive. Massive. So because it's so massive, what we're going to actually do is we're going to divide this up into a couple weeks. This week, we are going to dive into what's called the East Asian cultural sphere. All right. So the East Asian cultural sphere is China, Japan, North Korea, South Korea, Vietnam, and Thailand. That's what they call overall the East Asian cultural sphere, because it's kind of got its own feel, its own languages, all of those things, some wisdom and knowledge we can extract out of there. So we'll spend some time over there, and then next week we'll go into like India and other areas over there. What's up, Pam Woosley? Great to see you, right? So it's going to be super fun. But what I found is when we go into this East Asian cultural sphere, it's really crazy, man. It is so incredibly beautiful. What you're going to find is it's one of the most beautiful, richest cultures like in the world. I mean, we're talking thousands of years in the making and uniquely evolved, incredibly uniquely evolved with very, very deep beliefs and philosophies. There's things called Taoism and Buddhism and Confucianism that ultimately they converge to create this myriad of religious customs and beliefs, with Buddhism ultimately leading the area as one of the primary religions. Now, as we studied in African culture, what I found very interesting is when we go outside of North America, when we go outside of the United States, some of these larger, older civilizations, they don't divide religion as much as we do. They don't even really like the word religion, right? Like, just like the African culture, the East Asian cultural sphere, when it comes to their religion, they really don't see it as that. They just see it as a way of life. That it is not something that can be separated from who we are and what we do on the day-to-day, but rather something that is ingrained in every decision that we make. Every engagement, every connection, every relationship that we build, that it's ultimately just a way of life. And so throughout their storied rise as one of the most advanced and developed places on the planet, what we find is that there are many deep-rooted philosophies that just ingrain who they are. And it's really beautiful. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, along the way, with thousands of years of tradition and culture and history, there's so much wisdom that we can extract from there. There's so many ancient proverbs that have meaning and value, so many perspectives and ways that they look and do things that have meaning and value that can help us to grow, right? That can help us to grow in such a powerful way. And that's what it's all about. What's up, Jeff Holland? Great to see you. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of those proverbs to take with you today, and then we'll dive deeper into this rich, beautiful, aesthetically amazing culture We'll dig further into that later this week here on hashtag Rise and Grind. So I'm going to give you one ancient piece of wisdom that comes from this culture. The proverb says this: it is better to light a candle than to curse at the darkness. I think that's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful how in a sentence they were just able to capture what most tend to do. We sit there in the dark and complain about it. We get angry, we get frustrated. We share that anger and those frustrations a lot of times with our loved ones and on social media. When the answer is so clear, it's so simple. It's much better to light a candle than to curse at the darkness. Shine light on it. Shine light into it. You know, hashtag Rise and Grind, this show originally first aired January 6th of 2018. Reason for that first episode was I really just felt like on social media there was so much negativity. And if we could just add, if people could just change the way they start their day in a more positive way, it could make an impact on this planet. And so episode 1, that's what it was really all about, just creating a space with motivation, education, inspiration. Instead of cursing at the negativity that existed, lighting a candle. That candle, that one candle lit has now spread to tens and thousands of people all across the United States and up into Canada and Australia and some other parts of Europe and around the world. Dude, light a candle. Don't curse at the darkness. Beautiful, right? So good, right? Second one I know you've heard before, but I'm going to reiterate it today because it's super important. Ancient Chinese proverb says, give me a fish and I eat for a day. Teach me how to fish and I eat for a lifetime. The wisdom and value in that is powerful, right? It's powerful on the receiving end as well as on the giving end. You see, here in America, I've heard it before. I've heard teach a man or give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man a fish, he eats for a lifetime, right? I've heard that on the teaching side, but as a student, it almost has a new perspective and dynamic to it, right? Give me a fish, and I only eat for a day. Teach me how to fish, and I can eat for a lifetime. A student mentality, wanting to learn and gain wisdom and knowledge. Not even being willing to receive it, saying, no, please don't give me the handout. No, please don't try to take care of it for me. Why don't you teach me so that I can do it for myself going forward? I think that's a powerful lesson that all of us should learn. We should always be students, eager to learn. The handouts? No, thank you. Teach me. I'd much rather have that. Powerful, right? Absolutely powerful. What's up, Eddie Brown? Great to see you. What's up, young Darius Johnson? Great to see you as well. In this last one, I'm going to let you ponder on this. I'm going to let you think on this. I'm going to let you sit on this. I'm going to send you out of here with this. I'm going to send you out. I'm not even going to give you my opinion of what I believe it means. I'm just going to share it with you. And then on the backside, I think I will run a quick little video, just a tribute to stepdads. For those of you that have stepdads, you can stick around for that. But I'm going to leave you with this one piece of wisdom. When you say one thing, the clever person understands 3. Go ahead and chew on that one for a little bit, because that's pretty incredible. Listen. If you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you haven't got your planner yet, go get it. glennlundy.com. Some coffee, you can go there. glennlundy.com. Do all of those things. But most importantly, hit that share button. Let's change the way somebody starts their day. All right? Make a massive impact in their life. And then come back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. I hope y'all are chewing on that one. When you say one thing, the clever person understands 3.
My lovely mother started dating. I remember coming home from a basketball practice in 10th grade. And when I opened up the door, right there in the living room was this guy. His name was Mike. Mike was my mom's new friend. As her oldest kid, I thought I was the golden child. Why would she need another man? I'm here, Mom, all right? And I remember Mike standing up. He comes up to me, he said, "Hey, your mom's told me so much about you." Now I'm looking at Mike and I say, "She ain't tell me anything about you." And so like any other boyfriend that she had, my goal was trying to make his life miserable so that they realize that this can't work. But instead of him giving in, he moved in. And now he was trying to be my dad, a friend, a mentor, someone on my side, and I didn't let him. He would actually show up to my basketball games, which is weird because most of the time, none of my family members or mom could come to my basketball game. My mom worked 2 jobs. It was just something, but he would show up to every game. When he first started doing that, I would still take the bus home when other kids would go home with their parents because I didn't want to go home with him. He showed up to my away games, and I didn't play a lot, all right? My position on the basketball team was water guard, all right? So at the end of the bench, right next to the water, and he would show up, and he would always bring a camera. Mike worked in our small town in a factory where most people worked. But Mike's dream job was to be a photographer. Not just a photographer, but a photographer for the Dallas Cowboys. But instead of taking a picture of the Dallas Cowboys, he had to take pictures of me. And he would take pictures of me even though I didn't ask him to be there. And after every game, he would print me pictures of the little time I played basketball. And it was at that point where I started letting him into my life. Now fast forwarding to when I had my ACT my junior year. One of those days on my basketball games, we were driving back like every other away game, long Texas road with long conversation. And I remember being a brat. I remember being a brat to him. And I remember looking at his camera and saying, "Why do you care about this camera? It's not your real job." And instead of getting mad at me, Michael was very patient. Michael pulled over on the side of the highway and he looked at me. Everything in that truck made noise but the horn, all right? And he parked the truck and he looked at me and he said, "Son, I know you're upset about that ACT score, but I want you to understand something. It's not about what you know. It is about what you do. It's not about how much intelligence you have. It is about how much impact you make. What are you going to do about it?" And it meant so much to me. And I remember going into my senior year writing all the things I wanted to do. I wanted to get my first All-A report card. I wanted to go to college. None of my parents went to college. I had no idea what that process looked like. I wrote down all the things I wanted to do and I became obsessed with that list. In my last semester of my senior year, I got my first All-A report card. I went out to college. I ended up graduating with honors in the front of my class and graduated in 4 years. But honestly, my greatest achievement is getting that college degree. Not only was getting the college degree, but it's because seeing my mother get her college degree. From there, my brother graduated from Midwestern State and he ended up getting his degree as well. Mike ended up being a photographer for the Dallas Cowboys. What's amazing about this picture and the times that I saw Michael before any of my accomplishments, this was the first man I've seen woman achieve his dreams. And it was so amazing to see that people can actually achieve their dreams. But the reason why you don't see Mike in any of our graduation photos, it's not because he was taking a photo. It was because at a young age of 47 years old, when I was a sophomore in college, I get a call from my mom that Mike is in the hospital and he passed away. And that is when I realized all the things I achieved was based off of the motivation of time and that time I had with Michael. And it wouldn't be without that moment in my life that I had to go that low to realize how sweet time is. Michael was my friend, my mentor, and the person I saw turn a dream into reality.
If Mike was alive today, I would tell him how much of a difference he made in my life. One of the biggest lessons Mike taught me was that we can all achieve our dreams, regardless gender, race, age, socioeconomic status. We can actually become the person we want to be. Growing up and seeing someone like Mike actually go after their dreams really gave me the confidence to believe in mine. If you have a Mike in your life that has helped you get to where you are, share them this story, send them a text and tell them how much you appreciate them.
Shout out to all of the stepdads out there. Happy birthday to my stepdad, Everett Hull. I would never be where I am today if it wasn't for you. Love you guys. Have an incredible, incredible day. We'll see you on the backside tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. on #RiseAndGrind. See ya.
Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation. Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind. Grind, 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 grind. Hashtag rise and grind.
Elite 24 minutes. I'll see y'all in 24 minutes. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Good morning. On my feet before the sunrise. Stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. Hashtag blessed. Write my mission.